Hello everybody. In this video I'd like to talk about the new red range from TPT Golf. Been very impressed with some of the results I've been getting with these shafts, and I'd like to share with you the data I've got from Gears and Trackman Golf. To get things started, I'd like to talk about the 19 high. Lots of things to say about these, so let's get stuck in. So these are the specs on the TPT 19 high shaft. 4.8 torque, 225 CPM and 52 grams. So basically a lightweight, soft shaft, which would be generally considered a shaft which would be adapted to people with slower swing speeds. For all the testing I was doing, I was using a Titleist TSI3 head, 9 degrees. The shaft length was 45 inches and the swing weight was to a D4.5. These are the first results I'd like to talk about on Trackman. As you can see, the dispersion is pretty good, slightly to the right, but they're all pretty much in the same zone. As far as club speed is concerned, we're around about 101 miles an hour with 148 ball speed, which is not bad, pretty much optimized there. Launch angle and spin are pretty good for that speed as well, and the distance is pretty much optimized in meters. So pretty much all said and done, with this shaft being very light and very supple, you would imagine more dispersion and probably the numbers which would be a little bit less consistent. But you're looking at the consistency here, that the numbers are all pretty much close together. There's very little difference in whether it be spin, whether it be carry, or dispersion. Just this tendency to be to the right. And I'd like to show you why that is in this next slide. And this is what's great with the Gears system, is you can just measure exactly what's going on with the shaft all the way through the swing. And what I'd like to show you in this video is basically why those balls were slightly to the right. Generally speaking, our beliefs are that the softer the shaft is, the more the tendency will be going to the left. Well, this is basically going to prove the opposite. So I'd like to show you exactly what's going on here with the torque of the shaft. And this is going to be this graph here, which is the shaft twist. Now, this is calculated in degrees, and as you can see, as the shaft is moving, it's twisting in different directions. So basically, negative twist would be the shaft moving away from the target, and positive twist would be the shaft torquing or rotating towards the target. I'd like to just stop this at the top of the swing. You can see here for the moment we're pretty much at zero. And if I just advance this a little bit, we're maybe back to zero here, sort of halfway down in the downswing. So if I just move this slightly, moving on here, you can see that now I've gone to negative torque, i.e. the shaft is rotating away from the target at this stage. I'll take this all the way down to here, and I think it would be easier to explain if I showed you this from above now. You can see the target line here. I'm just going to put some lines on the club face. So we're going down here now, and it's still torquing, the shaft is still torquing away from the target. And basically, it's just not possible to re-rotate that shaft back to the target line. So basically, this is proving that the more torque there is, the harder it is to close the club face. So basically, the reason why those balls were slightly to the right is just because there was a little bit too much torque on this. So you can take this the opposite way. Somebody who would have a tendency to hook the ball, it would be probably a better option to look at a shaft with a little bit more torque, try and delay the closure of that club face. So this is really interesting for me as a club fitter, just to know that maybe we could use a little less torque, a little more torque, depending on what sort of problem we have in front of us. But this, if I wanted to obviously improve the results with this TPT shaft here, I've got all the options in the TPT red range just to look for a lower torque shaft and try and just move that ball slightly to the left. So really excellent information and really great technology from TPT.